Joining us now is Sacramento County Sheriff Jim Cooper. Sheriff Cooper, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
So, Sheriff Cooper, you were an assemblyman back in 2020 when lawmakers and the governor agreed to lower the elder parole age to 50. You voted no, but what's your understanding at the time that pushed them to ultimately do that?
It really wasn't clear. I mean, they talked about lowering it in age and elderly prisoners, and when in fact it wasn't. And I think a lot of it's convoluted, a lot of these bills, and that's one of the reasons when you vote on 3,000 bills a year, 3,000 bills are introduced, that's problematic because you can't do a deep dive on the bills, and it really does a disservice to Californians.
Republicans are now calling on Governor Gavin Newsom to remove the parole commissioners who voted to release child rapist David Funston as a result of that elder parole law. I mean, is that what the governor should do?
He's got to make the decision. I read the report. I read all the reports. There were 8 victims in Sacramento County, 7 boys and 1 girl. And when I read those reports, they were heart-wrenching. So I'm not really sure what they read. I'll be honest, what's their moral compass? And I'll read a couple of things to you. The 3-year-old girl abducted from the front of her aunt's house. This is the actual report. Took her to his home. He undressed her, took a bath with her, sexually assaulted her, threatened to kill her with a knife if she told anyone. Took her back to her house and again reiterated, if you told anyone, I'll kill you. This is a victim statement at 3 years old. Another girl in North Highlands in Sacramento kidnapped her, drove up in the car, offered her candy. When she went to take it, he pulled her into the car, drove her away, sexually assaulted her, tried to assault her again, and she refused. He punched her in the face, blooding her lip, and kicked her out of her car with no shoes on in Pollock Pines. That's 50 miles away from Sacramento. And those are just 2 of the cases. So the commissioners read the cases, they know what the offender's done, and they come to that conclusion. On God's earth, how do you come to that conclusion? How is he safe? There are certain things you do where you don't get a second chance. And when it comes to children, all bets are off.
The LA Times reported that those commissioners, though, said they did not believe Funston posed a significant danger anymore because of apparently the extensive self-help that he got, the therapy work he did, and the sex offender treatment classes that he completed in at least the 2 decades he spent in prison, plus the detailed plan he apparently has to avoid his repeated crimes. They also pointed to good behavior in prison. What's your response to that?
His crimes are so egregious. For someone to do that, they actually go out and kidnap kids and take them and molest them. I didn't get into the details of these reports. They are very graphic. So, of course, you're spending 30 years in jail. You're going to play the game and go to class because it's good behavior. So everyone, for the most part, does that. They go and play the game in prison. They attend classes. They say the right thing. This is 8 kids and 1 in Colorado. I guarantee you there are more kids he did this to that we just don't know about, unreported. And you're willing to take a chance on that? He will say anything to get out of prison. He's been there. He wants his freedom. So it's really a game. I've been in law enforcement for 33 years and been around it for 40 years. I know what I'm talking about. He has an appetite for children. He displayed it, and he got caught. And that 3-year-old boy I read about, that he sexually assaulted also, I didn't read it, but the boy picked him out of a lineup. I'm sorry, a 4-year-old boy picked his photo out of a photographic lineup. Those kids are traumatized the rest of their life. He stole their childhood. He should get nothing. And it's here, I've lived in Sacramento my whole life, actually. It's a continual fight. Human trafficking of a child wasn't a violent felony. We're fighting that. Mental health aversion. You can beat your kid to death and get your record expunged. It's always a constant fight for kids. Who is defending our kids? Right now, nobody.
You mentioned actually another public safety situation that you've been fighting, that state's mental health diversion laws, which allow some criminals to be eligible to have their charges tossed and records expunged if they get treatment. I know you've been pushing to get state lawmakers to put limits on this. What's the holdup there?
Yeah, some folks, not all. I mean, a lot of them just don't have the correct information. And then there are some individuals that don't want anybody held accountable whatsoever. And that's the sad part about it. But on the mental health diversion, just the one piece was for child abuse, you're not eligible. That's one small piece. That shouldn't be a big problem, in my opinion. And with Mr. Funston, there have been a lot of people released in California for a long time. They've been releasing 100 lifers a month that were in for murder, that were sexually violent predators, and we have no idea what that universe is, who's monitoring them, what they're doing. And our jails and prisons only have most serious offenders in there. We don't have low-level offenders. They're closing prisons, and they're releasing people that really need to be locked up. And that's a big issue. Like I said, he should have been in prison. He should have died in prison, basically. And now he's going to be out to roam the streets, and they're taking a chance. What if they're wrong? Who's going to pay for that? Those kids have paid for it for a lifetime already. And are we going to let someone else pay again? We can't take a chance on that. It's just frustrating. I have a grandson that's 3.5. When I read those reports and read that 3-year-old and the 4-year-old, what he did to them, that makes my blood boil.
California's criminal justice laws, I mean, you sort of just mentioned it. I mean, they've been rooted in prison overcrowding and court decisions from the early 2000s. Most lawmakers have agreed on, not reversing course on some of these just because of the costs associated with it, the possibility these prisons overcrowd again. What's your response to that?
There is no cost for a child. Every child deserves to grow up in a safe environment. So cost doesn't matter. And we're not talking millions of kids. So number one, cost should not matter. These kids deserve to grow up and be protected by us. It never should happen to those kids. And like I said, it's either, there's two sides to it. Either you're with the kids or you're with the perpetrator. And the parole board basically crapped all over these children, and they're with the perpetrator. And that's not okay. I take this seriously, being sheriff, and my detectives are out there day in and day out doing these things. And even right now, we've got about 1,200 cases of child abuse that we're dealing with right now, and sexual abuse. A lot of those guys are in their 20s and 30s. They can be out by the time they're 50 and do 20 years. So no one's old. I'm 62. He's 64. Most folks work into their 60s and 70s now. You can't draw Social Security until you're 62. But yet you want to release somebody at age 50 when they're still strong and young. And to the best of my knowledge, Mr. Funston doesn't have any ailments. Nothing's wrong with him. He's a healthy man. That is not okay. People stand up and make their voices heard. And right now, just from folks calling me, they're pissed. They want it changed. And in a lot of respects, not everybody, some members of the legislature are tone deaf on this issue.
So with that, I mean, Governor Gavin Newsom has a lot of power and influence in the legislature. He also can oversee the parole board. Circling back to my question earlier, what exactly should the governor do here?
Law needs to be changed one way or the other. The governor has a lot of power, and so with the legislature, and I'll point out, he did a great job coming in on human trafficking because the bill wouldn't get through in either house. He stepped in and made a difference in that, and I believe he can do that. This is a righteous issue. There's no parties involved in it. It's about protecting our children, and we have to do it. He can do it, but we've got to put our children first. And the legislature keeps coming up with these laws that are nonsensical. There's no sense. There's no rhyme or reason. There were bills last year dealing with this for the sexual predators. It couldn't get through. The bills died in committee. For the mental health diversion on a child, I testified last year, and I sat there and told those committee members, you have children, grandchildren, nieces and nephews. Are you okay with an individual getting his record expunged so he can go be a teacher, a coach, a counselor, and no one knows about his record? No one knows he killed his 1-year-old. No one at all, because that record's clear. And they were okay with that. That's not okay with me.
You're at a law enforcement conference right now, which is why we're doing this virtually. I mean, is all of this what we're talking about right now? I mean, is that what you all are discussing out there at that conference this weekend? We
are. So every sheriff in the state of California, 58 of us have talked about this. They've approached me. They feel very passionate about it. They feel very strongly about it, that things need to change. Victims have to come first. This is, and I think you asked the majority of your viewers, Ashley, this is a no-brainer. Kids come first. And when you look at in detail the crimes Mr. Funston's committed, how on God's green earth would you ever give this man a second chance? He doesn't deserve it. He gave that up.
How hopeful are you that we might see changes in this space this year?
I think it's the public. The public really has to make their wishes known. And that's what it comes down to. We saw that with Prop 36. 70% of Californians wanted Prop 36 passed, but no statewide official supported Prop 36, even though it wasn't what the public wanted. And this is another one. This is like turning into a bellwether for things. It can't go on and on like this because it's not what California's about. California is more middle of the road than you think, but that's not represented in the legislature.
All right. Sheriff Jim Cooper, we really appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.